What's up, everybody? Ricky Carruth and Joe Rosen here. Welcome back to our channel. So we want you guys to call in and ask questions. So put your number in the comments, the live stream chat over here if you would like to call in and ask us something. But Joe, what's up?
Just living that dream, man. Staying busy. I can't believe how busy December has been. It's people just coming out of the woodwork.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, it's always like that. I think people are kind of like scrambling around to get stuff done before the end of the year, you know?
Yeah, and I was talking to a guy today, and I think he talked to you too, and he said he was offering his services for free. I'm guessing it was Fizbo's, but he didn't say. And he got one. He was pretty excited. I think I saw it in your story, but I really think a lot of, and it's not just real estate, man. It's everything. People are just taking December off. So if you're working, I don't know what the real numbers are, but say buyers are down 5-10%. I'm not claiming that at all, but let's just say they are. Realtors are down 50% because they're all sitting on their couch watching Christmas shows. So market's up, baby.
Now, December's always a big closing month for me, for sure. Like, most all my, I have a lot of closing. Like, it's always a big closing month, and I think it's because people are just trying to buy and sell before the end of the year.
Yeah.
For tax reasons. I think they're just trying to get stuff done before the end of the year.
You get a lot of 1031 exchanges in December.
Well, I mean, 1031s are all year long.
Yeah.
It's not really an end of the year deadline. It's like once you sell your property, you get 45 days to identify, 180 to close on your next property. And so, it doesn't really fall with the end of the year kind of thing, but for sure, like always, December's a big closing month for me. And I thank God it is, because I needed it this year to hit that mill.
Yeah, and you finally got there. I saw that. That's pretty awesome. Congrats.
Almost. Yeah. I'm I got 2 closings later this week, and I'll get there.
Okay. Well, that's good, man.
Pretty excited, man. Third year in a row.
Yes.
Okay, guys, look, I just want to say a few things before we get into today's subject. And also I want to take your call. So I see somebody already put their number in, so I'll call you in here in a second. But the mass texting platform webinars have been pushed off to next week. Next Friday is what we're shooting for. We want to get this thing right. We're basically creating this platform for you so it could be very affordable and easy and work really well. So we pushed that off a week just to make sure we're doing it right. Also, between Christmas and New Year's, I'm going to do a 2020 goal setting and planning for everybody.
That's awesome.
I'll be live right here, and I'll do a 2020 live goal setting and planning where I'm going to go through the brand new 90-day action plan. I'm recreating the action plan. I'm tweaking the scripts. I'm redoing the course. The entire Zero to Diamond program is getting completely revamped by me personally. And between Christmas and New Year's, I'm going to do a webinar right here on YouTube and go through it for you. And that way you guys can start off 2020 with a bang. So I'm really excited about those two things coming up. But did you see that video I did yesterday?
Yeah, I saw how many views you had on it. That was an interesting video, man. I can't believe the response you had on that, but I think you hit the nail on the head, man. That was a pretty cool response. I mean, I don't know, kind of like what I was saying with December. I mean, you can think one thing. I don't know. I've had this conversation so many different ways in the last week or two, but I think I'm getting a little off topic here, but people, just agents, put things in their mind, and just whatever they believe becomes their new reality. Reality doesn't matter. It's what's in my mind. What did that guy tell me or that guy tell me? And that's the new reality. And I'll let you steal. I'm not going to steal your thunder here, but it was just really interesting, the perception you had on it. I thought it was pretty awesome.
No, I mean, it literally, Joe, after 700 videos on YouTube, this was literally my first viral video, as viral as it gets for me, like 40-something thousand views in a day. The most views I've had in a video in a day so far has been like 3,000.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It was nuts. So what does that tell me? I'm going to do more videos like that.
Yeah, exactly, man. I think people, I mean, But we've been talking about it for years. I mean, when did the market drop? Was it March of '09? I watched the financial markets more than the real estate markets,
Well,
honestly.
really, real estate started coming down, like depending on what market you're in. Like my market, it was 2005. Like the first
Oh,
quarter of
really?
2005, it started to really come to a halt and start going down.
Yeah.
2005 was a down year. Prices were down. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 was the bottom. 11 was the same as 10. So it kind of came down, and 10 and 11
That
were the
there.
same. And then 2012 was the first year we saw a positive increase in prices and appreciation in equity. So 2005 to 2012. So that was 7 years.
Yeah.
It just
That's
kind of
crazy.
slowly, and it didn't just like crash. It slowly went down
Yeah.
about 50% from where it was at the top. And we're not even back where we were. That little top
Yeah.
that happened at the end of 2004
Yeah.
was literally the top. And we're not even back to those prices yet,
Yeah.
So, but it was an imaginary price because it was so overinflated,
Yes.
driven by, no doc loans and interest only loans and no money down loans and appraisers that would go in and appraise their brother's house for
Yeah.
twice what it's worth.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
It was insane. It was the wild, wild west, man. You could do so much. You could,
Yes.
if you were smart enough to realize that it was going to crash, you could have got in there and made so much money and then got out and then just sat back,
Yeah.
and just let it crash and then bought a bunch at the bottom again. That would have been the major play of the century if you'd have done
Yeah.
that.
You'd have been sitting pretty good.
Yeah.
So I heard the other day, I have not seen any of these, but someone was telling me there's still arms out there. Have you seen arms? Are you doing arms?
Arm loans?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out there.
I haven't seen any of those.
Yeah. Yeah. Most of them are through like a bank though. It's not like a Fannie Mae,
Yeah.
Freddie Mac, it's more
Interesting.
of it's more like an in-house bank portfolio type product,
I haven't even had, I mean, so for those of you who don't know who I am, I sold up in Minnesota. Now I sold down in Florida. I don't know how many homes I sold up there, maybe 200. And I probably had 3 cash deals ever. It was all loans, all of it. Yeah.
Really?
It was different market. Now you're going to be closer to Florida. Florida, it's like 80-20 cash deals. It's just the complete
Really?
opposite. Yeah.
80-20 cash. We're 50-50.
Hmm.
About half of our deals are cash.
Yeah, or you'll get a lot of the, I want to buy for 300, but I'm going to put 150 down, and the other 150.
There's a lot of that, yeah. And there's a lot of people that get loans that could pay cash. They just money's so cheap right now.
Yes.
They're getting 3.5% interest.
Yes.
I mean, they're getting more than that, on their investment. So why not borrow the money and keep your money where it is and make more than the interest that you're, paying on your loan.
And that's another interesting market is the banking market. I don't know, and I don't claim to know what any market is ever going to do, but those rates have sat there so low for so long. It's crazy.
It is kind of insane when you think about the history of interest rates and where they are and how long, the entire If you look at the graph, for the last 50 years, it's like
it's in the teens.
It's just sitting right here forever.
Like a new world.
So it's interesting, man. It'll definitely that'll change. That'll change.
Yep.
That's one thing that you can guarantee about the market is it's always going to be changing. It's going up, down, sideways, left, right. But the good thing is closings continue
baby,
to happen every single day, man.
Yep.
That's what I like about what I have going on with what I'm pushing is that you don't have to, it takes the pressure off. You don't have to worry about, are you going to make it? Are deals going to continue to happen? Am I going to have to get out of the business when the market crashes? What's going to happen? You don't have to worry about all that stuff. You just put your head down, do the work, talk to the most people with the best intentions, build that brand, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep grinding.
Yeah.
That's it. You're going to do fine. Keep it up.
100%. Yeah. And, even when markets dip, say sales go down 10%, The amount of realtors in the market go down 10% right with it. So it should have no impact on your business at all.
It wouldn't matter if the okay, it would like let's if the market goes down 10%, but we added 10% agents, it still would not affect you
Why?
because business is unlimited, my brother.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't really thought about it. I don't disagree. I haven't really wrapped my head around that.
Can you talk to every single property owner in your
No,
market ever?
no, I can't.
Okay,
No.
you have job security forever because
Yeah.
that's your job is talking to property owners, making them feel comfortable with you, seeing what you can do to help them now and in the future, building that database, building that brand. That's your job. And there's more people in your market than you will ever talk to in your life. So, and see, the business is the relationships. Like what you're trying to accomplish is, how many people in the market, property owners, can you make them feel comfortable with who you are enough to do business with you?
Yeah.
That's that. It's not to close deals. See, you're looking at it in terms of transactions.
Yeah.
You're looking at, okay, there's 10% less transactions, but 10% more agents. So obviously less transactions per agent.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it from a relationship standpoint. There's no way I can create as many relationships out there that are available to just me, in my entire life ever. Even if I work 24/7, like you can't even scratch the surface. You will never scratch the surface of how many like deals and people, because when you talk to people, that might be a deal today in this down market, right? That might be a deal today in the down market where there's more agents and less transactions in our hypothetical world. But you're going to talk to people that want to do stuff later when the market rebounds. See, all the people you talk to, you're gearing them up for, okay, 3% want to do a deal today, but the other 97% want to do a deal over the next 10 years. And that's how you build a big business.
Yeah.
And so like, it shouldn't affect, I'm serious. Like it should not affect a single thing about anything that you do. And if you have that mindset, what's so crazy is that it actually increases your income during these down times, even if there's less transactions and more agents.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about it as you're talking, and even so, I'm making cold calls. Even if, and I'm not saying this happens, but even if the amount of people who want to buy or sell goes down, it really doesn't impact me a lot because a no takes 7 seconds. It's the yeses that take 5, 10, 15-minute conversations. So really, you're going to fly right through all those no's. It's just not going to matter. And if you're talking about relationship building instead of transactions, I've been in that horrible market, and that's when the real conversations happen, man. That's when you have the kitchen table, people crying, how do we do? What are our options?
Yeah.
Those kinds of conversation. You're not having that kind of, I'm not having that kind of conversation in this market. It's all fluffy and fun and everybody's holding hands and buying houses. But that market, you're going to build some relationships. I mean,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah. And two, I mean, and there's so many different ways to look at it because there's such a diversity of mankind, of humans, of, income levels, of wealth status. There's so many different avenues you can go here. We can target the luxury properties. The luxury properties get hit the worst in a downturn, because 10% of 300,000 is 30,000. 10% of 2 million is 200,000.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a lot of money. You can take a $5 million house, if it goes down 20%, that's $1 million.
Yep.
20% of a $200,000 house, we're talking 40,000. Okay.
Yep.
So the luxury properties, they're going to take a bigger hit in terms of the monetary value and the actual real money appreciation, but those people are going through the same things, and they need to sell for whatever. They can't afford this $5 million note. They, or they paid cash. They don't care that it went down. They're ready to buy some more at the bottom. And these luxury property owners might want to buy an apartment complex at the bottom, or, a handful of single family homes, or or duplexes or, commercial properties or
Yeah.
whatever, And so I think diversifying your portfolio, diversifying your database like a portfolio,
Yep.
with, your higher end that's why when I say, when I'm talking to people and they're asking me about how do I pick a farm area and what do I go after first? I'm like, well, first you need to go after the average price point in your market.
Yep.
That should be your first avenue of attack. If the average price point is 350, let's do something in a neighborhood that's 300 to 400. All right. And let's hit that for a good while. Let's make calls in there for a good week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks. Let's get a footing in there. Let's get a listing. Let's go till we get a listing in there or something. All right. We hit that for a while. Let's do something that's in that, 150 to 250 range. All right. Let's do a subdivision there. Okay. Let's hit that for a little while. And then once we have our 350, 3 to 400 or 150 to 250, now let's do something 800 to a million. Or if that's too high for your market, 6 to 700 or 1 to 1.5. And so I like to be diversified in my price ranges for what I'm farming, because sometimes you'll be glad that you had that $1 million listing that nobody wanted, that market was cold for years. And now all of a sudden everybody wants $1 million house.
Yeah.
Or the $1 million house market is cold, but everybody, these $150,000 houses are selling like hotcakes.
Yep.
And then you always got your bread and butter, which is the average price of your market. So it should always be adjusted by the average price of your market, and then just kind of work around from there to diversify your farming portfolio.
Yes.
I got off on all that.
Well, that's all right. It's good stuff, man. Speaking of farming, I call my farm, I mail my farm all the time. And I got a call today, a nice little voice message. I don't know if you, the last time I shared a voice message with you, somebody died.
Yeah. And for the record, that was not as funny as I was making it out to be.
No.
God rest their soul. I wasn't making fun of the death of those people. I was making fun of how the agent was
the agent in it. Yeah, that poor guy. Yeah.
He was like, we walked in, she was dead. And Joe, I just don't know what to do from here as far as being an agent.
Yeah, it's no, yeah, absolutely. You're 100% right. Like, her death obviously is not funny, but just the abnormalities that you come upon in the real estate market are like, you can't even, I can't tell you how many days, like, I'm a planner and I know you're a planner, but how many days you wake up and you think this is going to happen, and then just crazy, like, life happens. These are the biggest things people are going through.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff happens. So it makes for interesting times, but you know what? I can't play it because there's a lot of swearing in there. There was a gal, she just didn't like getting my mailings. And she called me a month ago and she said, I don't like getting your mailing. Well, that's not how she said it.
Right.
A lot of F-bombs. And I don't like your mailings. Take me off your list. And I was like, sure. What's your name or your mailing address? I'm not giving you my name, you whatever. And I'm like, well, I can't take you off if you don't give me your name. I need something here. And she wouldn't give me anything. So she stays on my list. And every month I get a phone call from her.
Either you give me your name and I can take you off my list.
Yeah.
Or there's two options here, ma'am. Your name so I can take you off my list, or you can continue to get my stuff because I can't take you off my list. It's one of the two.
Help you. Yeah, right. I want to send her a big old Christmas basket, but I don't even know who she is. I can't even get her that. So I don't know.
I had a guy like that.
Press, right? You got a guy too?
I had a guy like that a couple years ago. Yeah, he called me so mad about this postcard he was getting and all this, and I was like, well, sir, what's your name? He was like, you should know my name. I'm getting mail from you. And I was like, well, I send it out to thousands of people. What property? What subdivision are you in? Let's start there. No, I was like, all right, so yeah, people are strange, man. People, I mean, it's how much junk mail do you, I mean, like, do you never do you call every single
You call Pizza Hut when they say, yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, do you call every single piece of junk mail that you get? I mean,
yeah.
that must take a lot of time for somebody to go through and call every single person that sends them a piece of mail.
Well, I appreciate it every month. So if you're listening, ma'am, thank you. You keep me on my toes. Yeah.
You got her number in your phone?
I do have her number. I looked it up though on Redx, and it's not in there.
Oh, she called you from a restricted number or something?
I don't know, but I did a reverse search. I punched in her last four, and I have nothing in the database on that. I know which subdivision she lives in.
Right, but she called you from a number.
Yeah.
And you put that in your phone.
Yeah.
Let's call her.
Dude. No way am I calling her. Oh.
I'm just joking. I just wanted to see your, I just wanted to see your reaction.
I don't even. I have talked to her. I've talked to her.
I'm sure you have. It sounds like it.
Yeah. Because I didn't listen to my message. She had called me while I was on the phone. I called her right back after I got off the phone, and it was just a whole bunch of F-bombs. And I was like, I don't even know what's going on, man. What's happening here? But, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Guys, put your phone number in if you would like to ask me or Joe a question. We're talking about, is the real estate market really going to crash next year? Joe, what's your thoughts on this?
Every time somebody asks me, I mean, I probably get this question 2-3 times a week, and I say the same thing every time. You know, if you would have asked me, you know, so you said the bottom of it was 2011. If you would ask me in 2014, man, it's been going so strong for so long. What do you think? Yeah, maybe it'll drop. 2015, I'd have said the same thing. 16, 17, 18. I have no clue when.
Right.
I don't know if it's. Go ahead.
Well, I think that's the thing. Nobody knows.
Nobody knows. If you can't buy or sell, let me say it this way. If you buying or selling is going to be disrupted like so badly that you wished you hadn't done it because the market drops 10, 20%, then you need a better plan B or don't buy or sell. But
yeah, well, it's like I said in the video, you know, if you're buying a house and you're a single family home buyer, okay, then you should be buying, I mean, you're buying this house to live in for the next 5 or 10 years.
Yeah.
What does it matter if the market crashes next year?
Yep.
Or the year after?
Yeah, and a market that goes down a lot is, I mean, this last market aside, is what, 10, 20%? I mean, you're going to pay down so much over a 4, 5, 6 year span on your mortgage. And then, you know, even if it goes down for a year, it's generally going to come up usually. So that last market slide we saw was such an anomaly. And it's not that we'll never see it again. We'll
definitely see it again.
You think we'll see one that bad?
Yeah.
Damn,
I think we will. I mean, like when we're 70.
Yeah.
Dude,
maybe.
We don't know what's going to happen over the next 20, 30 years, bro.
You're 100% right.
Facebook did not even exist in 2001 or whatever. True. YouTube wasn't even around in 2004, just 15 years ago or something. It wasn't even here. So, I mean, look at where we are. I mean, 30 years from now, I mean, dude, there's no telling what could happen, you know, between now and then. Yeah. I think there's a good chance we could see another, you know, really big crash over the next, you know, 30, 40, 50 years, something like that, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know,
so do you think, go ahead.
You go ahead.
Do you think all of the regulation that we had government wise, because of the last recession, do you think that that's going to help us, hurt us, or do nothing?
I think it's helped us because, you know, banks have to go through a third party to get appraisals.
Yeah. The
banks cannot talk to the appraisers, right? That's one thing, man. Cause I was in this, I was getting mortgages and, and, you know, second mortgages, and I was buying and flipping and taking out equity and doing this and doing that. And I knew exactly what was going on. I would call my banker. He would call his appraiser buddy and tell him what to appraise it for. You know, based on what? Nothing. There was nothing, you know, it was not based on much at all. And, you know, and so here I am, you know, I owe this $500,000 note on something that's worth $350, you know, but I got the cash in my hand, you know? And so, yeah, with the regulation against banks to communicate with the appraiser, I think has helped big time. You know, and also the underwriters are really strict on appraisals. Like when the appraisal comes back, the underwriter, they're looking at the comps really hard. They're looking at the remarks. They're looking at everything on that appraisal. And if there's something funny or fishy about that or whatsoever, they're going to kick it back and ask the appraiser to go back and rework that report till they're satisfied. So to me, I really like that. Even though I've had some appraisals that came back lower and it made me upset because, you know, now the deal didn't go through when it probably should have.
Yeah.
But still, that's the kind of you know, that's what you have to deal with when you're in this world where, you know, we abuse the system for so long. And now, you know, we're paying for it, but I think it's really keeping us in line. It's keeping prices in line. It's keeping values in line with where they need to be. We don't want prices to just keep on continuing to go crazy.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad that they started to raise interest rates a couple years ago. And of course, now they've come back down, but I'm glad you know, looking back at the time, I was like, why are you doing this? But now I look back and I think that was a good move, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because it slowed down this heated market to where it didn't create a bubble.
Yes.
You know, I think now we're in a really safe place in the market, you know, as far as real estate goes. I think we're really safe. If it would have continued to go up 5 or 10% a year like it was, and we would be 20% higher right now than we were 2 years ago, then I think that we would kind of be headed for a, you know, a possible decline. But now I think the decline's kind of built in.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was looking up some numbers. So I did see the 2019 median housing prices. This was as of a month ago. We're at 316,000. That's a record. But I mean, it slowly got to that record. It wasn't like
what are these numbers?
This is the median housing price for 2019. So if you take
all the country.
Yeah, in the country. Yeah.
Okay. 316.
Wow. Yep.
That is, dude, to me, that just sounds extremely
low to you. Is that what you said?
No, to me, high.
Oh, high to you.
Yeah, because you think about the average.
Yeah, average has got, I'm just guessing, 250.
Now you said median price, right?
I said median.
What's the average?
I don't have average.
Okay, well, let's just say median price is 316.
Yeah.
You think about the average working man, you know, can they afford a $316,000 house, you know?
Yeah, I mean,
that's a lot for just an average Joe. I mean, I know, I mean, dude, I live in basically a $316,000 house right now myself, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That just sounds high as far as like just averages and medians, you know? No, I believe that it's true. I'm just saying.
Now you got me questioning it.
No, I believe that it's true. I'm just saying that it doesn't sound like unrealistic. It just sounds like, wow, I think the market really is high.
Yeah.
You know, if that's the case.
So I just looked up median household income is $63,000 in the US.
Okay.
Which sounds about right. So 63,000 and you're buying a 316. I don't have this number, but I wonder how far averages off from the median. I know in my market it's off
68,000 a year. What is that a month? That's
five. Yeah,
53. Yeah, a little over 5,000 a month.
Yeah.
And that's before taxes?
It doesn't say.
Yeah, so I mean, if you're making 5,000 a month, then you can probably afford. It would be tight because
you're right at the numbers there.
Yeah, I mean it's like that would be tight.
But I mean, in my experience, a lot of people are tight. They say that the biggest group of buyers is millennials right now, making up 37% of all sales this year. And that's anybody born between 1980 and 1998. And when I see millennials come in, I mean, whatever amount they're allowed, whatever percentage of their income that they're allowed to spend, these guys are within a point or two of that every time. They'll come in and they'll be, they'll say, I want to spend whatever it is, $2,500 a month. They get approved for $3,000 a month. What do? They don't stick at 2,500. They go up to $3,000 a month. So I see a lot of that. I mean, I don't know if everybody's seen that. And I remember when I sold 10 years ago, I saw that too, man. People would come in. I'd try to, let's figure out what you think you can afford before we get talked to the lender. Because the lender a lot of times has a higher number for you,
That's interesting. We got a pre-foreclosure update here. Rachel.
Hey, Ricky, how are you?
Doing good. How about you?
I'm doing great.
I know that voice.
Yay. Hey, Joe, how are you?
I'm amazing. How are you?
Oh, so good. So good. Trying to keep up with you. So
You're crushing TikTok, bud. I love it.
yeah, man, it's so much fun. I'm addicted, straight up addicted.
That's good.
Yeah. Hey, Ricky, I wanted to kind of, I guess this goes on with the conversation. So with a lot of the hurricane properties here in Panama City, a lot of them haven't been touched. So was curious about the pre-foreclosure / foreclosure market. So I asked you a direct message, Ricky, on Instagram, and then, asked what his thoughts were about pursuing that. And he said, go for it, just try it out. So went on RedX, talked to them. They prorated me so I could try it for a couple days for like $6.
Okay.
And going basically, what you guys were saying when markets are down, and those conversations that you have with people, they definitely go a lot deeper. My only thing is a lot of these leads, they're already assigned for auction.
Right.
But I have been able to connect with people that are pre-foreclosure, and have gotten to just talk to people. It's all been conversation and great conversations, really connected with people on the human level. And that's been nice.
So have you gotten any listings or any leads or any possible buyers or anything like that?
Yeah, I called actually one. So basically I had enough to call for one day, but my first day calling, I spoke with a lady, and so what's going on here is the insurance companies will pay the mortgage companies, and then these people can't live in their houses, some of them, so the bank will foreclose on them if they're not making their mortgage payments. And long story short, they had already caught up with their mortgage payment. And she was like, yeah, you know what? We're fine, but thank you so much for asking. We want to sell this house, and we want a bigger house with a bigger bedroom. We don't know where we're going to go. We just don't know what we're going to do. But basically, it's a future potential listing, and I made that connection, a true connection with someone, which was amazing.
Nice. So pre-foreclosures from RedX are doing well for you.
Yeah, I would say for the 2 days that I've called them, a lot of them are already in auction status. And what I found from my experience is that once they're in auction status, nobody's trying to talk to anybody.
Right. That's a good point. It gives there's not a lot of competition there because people kind of like, oh, it's going to auction, no need in talking to them, and then here you come, swoop in and get the opportunity to be one of the only agents to talk to them and actually care about their situation and be sympathetic and have some empathy towards what they're going through, and step in and be able to help them out and create that bond and put those 10 to 20 deals in place.
Yeah, well, once they're in auction, I'll tell you, a lot of people don't want to talk, but once I say, look, if there is anything in the world I can do to help you, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'm serious, anything.
Well, I think the biggest thing is not approaching anyone in this salesperson mentality, you know, like when you approach, I mean, everybody, it's like, what's going on? How are you doing? What's going on? What are you doing? What can I do to help you? You got somebody helping you? What, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like everybody.
Yeah, the best days I'll have are the ones where I'm just, usually Friday, where I'm like, I don't even care anymore. And I'll just call just to, you know, hey, what's up? I'm Rachel. And everyone has their guard down, I guess, because I'm just not in that.
Exactly. Okay. Now take that mentality. You're seeing the magic of it. Now take that and now mix in the expireds and the circle prospecting with the same mentality that you're using on the pre-foreclosures. See,
definitely.
you just upped your game by doing the pre-foreclosures and understanding the mentality there. See that you just took your game to another level.
It's an awesome point.
Now go back and use the next level you just learned about human beings and how to be a good person and how this business really works, and go apply that to all these other sources of leads as well. Don't stop the pre-foreclosures. Just be diversified in your avenues of business.
Oh, definitely. I circle prospect a whole condo last week. It took me all week. It was over 500 dials.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, 50 contacts. This is all Red X. And yeah, that was awesome.
Mm.
Same story, same situation. Like, oh, hey, that's cool if you're not wanting to buy or sell right now. And that works. I mean, it just does, because expireds, they get sick and tired of getting hassled, and there's both, you know, same thing. So
yeah. Well, cool. We'll keep rocking it.
Thank you so much, and hey, thanks for the advice on doing that, because I don't know, I probably wouldn't have done it, but you know, I'm glad I did.
Yeah, for sure. Just keep going. You're gonna do great.
All right, will do. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Have a good one.
I just have a feeling that she's gonna absolutely crush it.
I like her a lot. You know, this was probably 2 weeks ago-ish, and I remember you mentioning her name, and you said, yeah, she does social media kind of like Joe.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, what? So that had my interest, and I looked her up. She is so much better than I am. Like, she is crushing TikTok.
She really
She's got
is.
a phenomenal personality. She's just genuinely one of those people you warm up to so easily, you know?
She really is like crushing the social media game. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
If you will just keep going and not worry about views and likes and all that, and just keep posting like she's doing, I promise you.
I don't know how. Yeah, she's at 332 followers. I have no idea how, because I think she is. I'm going to throw her Instagram out there. It's Rachel Warrells, Warrell, sells, SELLS. And she, like, this is one thing I love too.
Rachel, if you're still watching, put your Instagram handle in the comments so that everybody watching can go there and follow you and see what you're doing, because I think it's really kind of I think it's something that people should kind of follow your lead on. I really like what you're doing there. So definitely, you know, and what is it? You go ahead and say it again.
Rachel, Warrell, sells, SELLS. And she doesn't do like, hey, look at my new listing. Hey, come to my open house. It's none of that.
Right.
Like the other day, her daughter was sick, and I was like, oh, I feel so bad for you. I just want to give you a hug. Like I think anytime you just forget about the fact that you're a realtor and just talk about your life, talk about you're grinding, you're working. I met with this person. This went really well. I absolutely failed at this thing and it went horrible. And you just, you know, people love that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, for real. I'm serious. You guys need to go follow her. I want to bring somebody else on here, put their phone number in, but definitely I like the direction that that's going in. And I just have this, I don't know, dude, I just have this strange feeling that she's going to wake up to, you know.
Hello.
Hey, it's Ricky Carruth. How you doing?
Hey there, Mr. Carruth. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Welcome to the show.
Good to hear from you. Thank you.
Yeah. So tell everybody your name and where you're from.
I'm Shantae Haynes. I'm from Washington, D.C.
Nice. What question do you have for us?
You know what? Because I had messaged you in the group. I had to run real quick, so I totally forgot. I remember I left my number.
All right.
And I had to get up and run out. And I'm like, oh, he's calling me.
So you don't remember your question?
I don't. My mind was elsewhere. I am so sorry. And you probably didn't see my message saying, oh, I got to get up and run.
No, I didn't see that. There's a bunch of messages, but that's okay. Good to talk.
Don't worry.
Good to talk to you.
It is good to talk to you. Absolutely. Just to chat, but I am actually finally going to start my Sunday or my weekly email. I've been working on it and just have not been doing it. So
Yeah.
Every week it's like, okay, it's going to go out this week. It's going to go out this week. And I'm just really sidetracked with other stuff because you remember I told you I finally went full time the beginning of late last year.
Yeah.
I've got like little things trickling in, little things. So I finally got 5 closings set to go for the next 2 weeks.
Wow, 5 closings for the next 2 weeks?
The end of the year is, yeah. So yeah, end of the year, it's like everything sandbags towards the
Are these single family homes or condos or what are these?
2 are condos.
2 condos and 3 houses?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. All buyers. These are all buyers.
Oh, all buyers. Where'd these buyers come from?
Yeah. 3 were referrals.
Okay.
And the other 2 actually found me in a Facebook group.
Okay.
Or rather through a Facebook ad I did on Marketplace.
Okay.
That seems to have done pretty good for me. Yeah.
When did you meet? How long ago did you meet these buyers?
The referrals, like I said, I met them over the summer through other people.
Okay.
People that I've done business with. And then, like I said, the other 2 I connected with through an ad that I do on Facebook Marketplace.
Okay. How long ago though did you meet the people
on the last couple of months?
Yeah, so you really like
the last couple of months.
You really put your hooks in, right? And just kind of rode them out for 2, 3, 4, 5 months.
You've got to hustle it. And this is a market where we have so many licensees in our market, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody's trying to scrape for what little bit of business they can get. And it's like, nope, I want the business too. So you got to be creative and just real intentional about how you go about getting to the business.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Well, cool. Well, hey, good talking to you. Let me know what I can do to help.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yep. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye. So anyway,
yeah.
we forgot her question.
That's all right.
You did put her number in literally like the very first second that we went live.
Life of a realtor. That's that schedule I was talking about earlier, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, let me go back. And if you guys have any other questions or want to call in, please put your phone number in. We'll be here for another 15, 20 minutes answering questions and calls and comments. But going back to like the market crashing, like that's never going to happen. You should always be set up for long-term anyway, for the long term. Like if you're going to buy a house to live in, you're going to live there for 5 or 10 years. It shouldn't matter to you if the market's going to crash next year or not. You're buying this based on what your income is right now, what the note's going to be right now. Interest rates are lower than they've ever been right now. It's not going to be a bad thing to, let's see, this person says, have you negotiated them? Oh, she's talking about something a long time ago. Like you do everything based on what's going on right now, because you don't know what's going to happen in the future. Yep. And that when you set this up, that you're setting, this is something that you can handle for 5 or 10 years, regardless of what happens to the market. If you're not in real estate, if you just have a job, if you have if you're in a different industry, because some industries, I guess possibly you could get laid off if the market really crashes, I guess, and people lose jobs and stuff like that. So I guess that could affect you. But if that happens, you lost everything anyway. You can't really plan to get laid off. And that's why I like several streams of income. Like I've always worked 2 jobs, man. every single, like every stage of my life, I've always had 2 jobs going on. Always, 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 always. When I was roofing houses, I was serving tables at night. You know, now I'm doing real estate sales and coaching. You
Yeah.
know, I've always had 2 jobs, and several streams of income, you know, as much as I could put together. So you should always have like, it's not like, you should always have options. I don't want to call it a plan B, because like if you have a job, you're like, okay, if this one goes away, then I have this one. It's like not a plan B. It's more like, you know, you're just adding to what you have.
Yeah.
And what's so cool about what we do and everybody watching in the real estate industry is it doesn't matter if the market does crash. See, we're in an industry where we can't get laid off. We're our own boss. And so, you know, there's no way to get laid off. Like, only way we can get laid off in real estate is if we lay ourselves off.
Yep.
And we quit the business. And there's no reason to ever quit, because even in the worst of markets, closings continue to happen every day. Every closing represents 2 possible clients you could have represented, you know? So if you're buying a single family home to live in, you know, we're buying it based on what's going on in your life today. We don't care if it crashes tomorrow and the price, you know, the value of our house goes down a little. It doesn't matter. We're going to stay here for 5 or 10 years anyway.
Yep.
If we're investing, we want to buy rental properties that are paying the note plus a little bit of cash. A couple $100 over the note's great, because it's paying the loan off and you make a couple $100. And if the market crashes, rent generally goes up during a crash, because people are getting foreclosed and now they got to rent. You know, so rental properties, I think, are something that are very recession proof. People always need a place to live.
Yeah. So let me ask you your stance on this. Both in this market right now, with like, if I'm a realtor heavy into new construction, say 40, 50, 60% of my sales is new construction, or look back at the 2008 to 2011 foreclosure / short sale market, when people were just married to Fannie Mae, or they were married to Freddie Mac, and that was all they were doing. What would your advice be to an agent who just gets all the way into new construction in a strong market, or in a bad market, just gets completely into foreclosures and short sales?
I think that regardless of what stage of your business you're in, regardless of what stage the market's in, like I did about 50 to 100. I don't know how many exactly. I did about 50 to 100 short sales between 2010 and 2013.
Okay.
I mean, I was hitting those pretty hard, you know, because that was easy money. It took a long time to do the deals, but at the end of the day, it was easy money.
Yeah.
But like for me, if I'm going to hit short sales hard, or if I'm going to just do builder sales really hard, you know, I got to realize that this is just a stage in my career. You know, number one, this could change. So what do I do if it does change? Well, I always want to be growing my database. Okay. So if I'm in new construction, every buyer that comes in the door and buys those houses, I want to create relationships with those people and put those people in my database, getting my weekly emails, getting my weekly texts, seeing my social medias, whatever I'm doing to build my brand. I want to continue building the brand with those homeowners of the new subdivision. Okay. Because they have brothers, cousins, moms, dads, friends that want to buy and sell. They are going to sell that brand new house in 5 years and buy another one, you know, or in 10 years, or in 2 years, or in 6 months. They're going to sell that house and buy another house. Okay. So I think that what I don't like is when you get into the situation where you're working exclusively for a builder, and the builder does not let you sell anything outside of that development. Okay. That's something I just don't understand. I'll never get it. That's just not me. You know, I don't advise that to anybody, because you're just cutting yourself short from all that. I mean, if somebody comes in, they don't even let you represent, you know, like if somebody comes into your model unit, you're representing the builder. Somebody comes in your model unit and is buying, and they have to sell their house first. You can't even list their house. that they're selling 2 subdivisions over before they can buy the one they're trying to buy from you in the new subdivision. You got to refer that out.
Yeah.
So on the flip side, I think that everybody watching this, not an exclusive builder's agent, should go meet and be friends with every exclusive builder's agent so that you can be the one that lists those houses that exclusive builder's agent cannot list.
That's a great
It's
point.
a very great source of referrals and stuff. I've done that a lot. I kind of gotten away from it just because I've been so busy, which is not a bad thing, but you know, that is an angle that you can take with that. But to answer your question, if you're doing builders, homes, you know, just make sure you're retaining the clients for life. That way, the next phase, new home builder might not be the thing, but now we're in this different market where these same clients are still buying and selling. You know, now you're just doing resales instead of new construction. If you're in short sales, do the short sales, create the relationship, stay on them forever. They're going to do more deals in the future, you know? So just stick and move with the market. It's like last year, 2 years ago, I was 80-20 listings over buyers.
Yeah.
Last year I was 50-50. Okay. This year I'm more like 70-30. But last year when I was 50-50, why was I 50-50? It's because I'm flowing with the market, you know, like whatever the market gives me, I'm going to take. I'm not going to make it hard on myself and continue beating my head against the wall of something that is now not as easy as it was. I want things to be, there's too much easy business out there. It was like this agent messaged me from Israel today, and she said, you know, Ricky, you know, I love what you're doing. I'm following your stuff. Do you have any agents in Israel? I said, yeah, there's some agents in Israel that are following me. She said, well, you know, is there anything comparable to Red X over here? And I said, no, there's not. And I said, Red X does not work over there. I don't know if there's anything comparable to Red X or not. And she said, well, you know, I'm just having a hard time finding expired listings contact information or whatever she was trying to find. I don't know. I don't even know if they have MLS or if she can't even find if they expired, or I don't know what exactly she was asking me. But my question was, is there any leads out there that are easy to find?
Yeah.
You know, because she's sitting here banging her head against the wall to try to find leads that are hard to find.
Yep.
You know, and I'm like, well, don't worry about those leads. There's got to be some easy leads somewhere just laying around somewhere. So she replied back because she said, yeah, Zillow, I guess Zillow's over there. Zillow,
Really?
yeah, that's what she said. She said Zillow. I think what she was trying to say was Zillow for sale by owners are all over the place. And I said, well, have you called every single one of those? And she said, no. I said, well, let's focus on the easy to find leads first. And when we get through all of those, then we'll see if we can find some more easy to find leads and more easy to find leads instead of sitting here wasting all the time in the world, banging our head against the wall to find some leads that possibly we'll never even find.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People
100%.
are making the business way too hard.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree 100%. You know, something I've seen a lot lately too. I've had a couple local agents reaching out to me asking, you know, how do I get my business going? I haven't got anything going lately. And I have one gal, she's got better ideas than I have, but she doesn't implement them. She doesn't execute them. So I asked her, because she said months ago she was going to door knock. And I said, how's the door knocking going? And she's like, well, you know, this was months ago. She's like, well, I ordered some door hangers off of Vistaprint. I'm just waiting for them to show up. So I talked to her again a couple of weeks ago and I said, hey, how are those door knockings going? You know, I did 100 and I got rid of those door hangers. Now I'm waiting on my other door hangers. So they should be here in 2 weeks. I'm like, well, what are you doing? Taking 2 weeks off? That's crazy. But I think a lot of people put so many hurdles in their way.
Yeah.
And like, just do it, man. Like, I do not have A+ ideas. In fact, honestly, 80% of what I do is literally what you've said. It's simple stuff, man.
Yeah. Keeping it simple. Let's go for the easy, like, let's take the easy way out, but let's work hard. Let's work hard, but let's make it we're going to be working hard, you know?
Hello, this is Rich.
Rich.
Yes.
Hey, Rich, Ricky Carruth.
How you doing, sir?
Good, man. You're on the show with me and Joe.
Well, what do you know? I just paused it so I wouldn't mess you up with the sound.
Yeah, man. Are you on a Bluetooth or anything?
I put my cord into my phone.
Okay, I can barely hear.
Earbuds into my phone.
There you go. I can hear you a little better now. What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Rich Gant, and I'm in Tampa, Florida.
Oh, nice. Nice. Love Tampa. Love Clearwater.
Yep. Well, I limit myself to the 4-county Tampa Bay area, you know.
Right. Can you hear him good, Joe?
Yep.
Okay. What's your question, man?
Well, my question is simply, okay, I did the Cyber Monday thing like you had recommended. Today was the first day that I finally started looking in there, downloaded your scripts just actually while you were talking here, trying to figure out what's my best first steps as I go with the Red X. And the biggest question is, how soon shall I start to see a return on investment for doing the Red X?
Yeah, for sure. I think the first step is just what all features did you get? Did you get geo leads and for sale by owners, expires? What'd you get?
Yeah, those three.
You got those three?
The deal that day. Yeah, I think I saved. I don't know if it's a permanent savings, but it was $60 or something like that.
Yeah.
By doing that.
Cool. So I think it's kind of dealer's choice, right? I think you should pick one of those three. I think you should do maybe spend 1 week on each, spend 1 week on geo leads, really try to nail down the mechanics and, there. And then the next week do expireds only for a whole week. And then do for sale by owners for a whole week, just to try to get your feet wet, get the mechanics down and try to understand how it all works. And then from there, you'll have a little bit of experience to where you can say, okay, I want to hit geo for a while, or, hit the expireds, or, new expireds are going to be popping up into your folder every day. And so you could pick one, after the 3 weeks where you tried all three, then maybe week 4, you could designate 1 day for expireds, because, you can do the whole last week of expireds in 1 day. And then you could do the other 2 days, circle prospecting. And then if you have a little more time later in the week, do some for sale by owner, you know what I mean? But that's what I would do. I would just do 1 week of each, to try to get it down and understand how it all works and understand the mechanics of it and all the technical ins and outs. And then, so that's how I would do it. And as far as a return, I mean, I've got guys like Quintavious that did 106 deals his first year, just calling 200 people a day on geo leads and meeting 15 people a week at Kroger's. And then I've got people that, do this for a year and never sell anything. So, I can't tell you where you're going to land in that spectrum,
Yeah. Well, I've kind of written a script for myself as far as wage through the years, where I've just always been locked in at about 80,000. Finally, last year I did really well, 135 after expenses. But then this year I was on the Zillow bandwagon and absolutely killed me. So I've got to reorganize how I'm doing everything. And the big deal is it looks like this holds better promise of getting listings. I have been the low hanging fruit are buyers.
I wouldn't say that.
No,
I wouldn't say. I would say the low hanging fruit are humans.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Like any person walking around in your market or that you call and talk to is low hanging fruit. I mean, every single person is thinking about buying or selling something.
Okay.
Every single one of them, whether it's I'm not going to do anything for a year, or I'm going to do something next week, or I'm going to do something in 3 years. It's the same thing as the buyer leads that you're paying $400 a piece for that you could have met at Kroger. Some of those people aren't going to buy for a year. So how is that low hanging fruit?
Right.
No, I'm asking you. Tell me.
Well, it just, what I meant by low hang, as far as my own experience, I spend about $1,000 a month, and of course with the Zillow lead, I had a lender helping me with that. But with that, it was just a numbers game. As long as I called everybody when my phone rang, I did really well with it. I got an 8-to-1 return. But then when they changed and they started all this concierge thing, I got 0 from it this year. So it went from being low hanging fruit. What I mean by that is simple to suddenly it wasn't there at all. And my family starved for several months before I was bright enough to realize, well, this isn't working anymore.
So it went from an 8-to-1 return to what?
To 0.
Right.
I changed nothing.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, you know, when you're buying leads that you could have met at Kroger from a company that's losing millions of dollars, you know, at some point they got to figure out how to make money on you somehow.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on over there, to be honest with you. But what I do know is that for you know, what are you spending now per month with RedX?
Their offer was it was supposed to be like $249, but I got it for, I don't know, 186 if I remember right.
Okay. So you're going from $1,000 a month. Okay. And how many leads were you getting from Zillow a month?
Well, last year the zip I had was I accrued probably about 800 leads. In the good year. This year, nothing. I mean, anything I got was, me and the wife were evicted last week. And,
no, I understand. So last year you spent $12,000 and you got 800 leads, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So for $189 that you just spent, you get 2,000 phone numbers from GeoLeads. You get expireds into your folder daily, a live stream that like just throws expireds in there and all the for sale by owners. For $189, you get way more leads than you got all year with Zillow for $12,000.
Right, I understand that.
Okay,
but,
and these people are even more low hanging fruit. Why? Because they own the exact property you want to sell.
Right.
They own it and they want to buy more of them. And they know other people that want to buy stuff. And they have other people that already own the properties you want to sell. And so if you can get out of this transactional mindset and say buyers make you money now faster and start to get in this mindset of, hey, how many of these property owners can I make friends with? Then your business is going to explode. It's like, for example, me and Joe were talking on the phone this morning, and he was talking about this networking group that he put together. And he told me, it was really brilliant. He said that, dude, I'm not even, he put this networking group together, different people in different industries in his area where they get together every so often. Right, Joe?
Yep.
Okay. So he does that. And what is it designed for? It's designed for each industry that's in there to give the other industries referrals. And so he told me, and I don't think I don't know if he told the people there or not, but he told me this morning, he was like, I don't even want to try to get referrals from them. I just want to try to help them grow their business. And I said, that is brilliant. You know why? Because now you'll just business will naturally just flow to you because of that. See what I'm saying?
I believe that.
Yeah.
And so if you use that mindset with these leads that you're getting for the cheapest like, what is cheaper than this? What is better than this?
Nothing I know of.
Well, now what I want you to do is I want you to pretend like these RedX leads are Zillow leads from last year.
Okay.
I want you to treat them exactly like it. Like I want you to call them immediately. Like they just looked on Zillow and you got alerted. I got to call them real quick. I want you to treat them exactly the same as you did Zillow leads last year. And then you're going to succeed. You're going to 10x your business doing it that way.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this: for the FSBO and for the expireds, do you have like regular mailers that you send, or do you, what's your pattern look like for those two?
No, not doing mailers. Why?
That'd be more money, but
Too expensive. Too expensive. You know, okay. Mail is still relevant. All right. People get stuff in the mail. They look at it. They call Joe. They cuss him out. So it's still relevant. People still see it. There's still some attention there. Okay. But it costs so much, you know, it costs you $1, let's say, or even 50 cents, depending on if it's a letter or if it's a postcard or what you're sending them. Dude, that is so extremely expensive compared to a text, compared to texting them a link to the website, to the property, to the new restaurant around town, to the new event that's happening this weekend, to whatever, your new listing, you know, the market's, you know, data. It's so much cheaper. It's almost free to text or email that same information. It's literally almost, it compared to a postcard, it is free. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so, man, I've really gotten away from farming with postcards and stuff. I'll just say it publicly. I've really gotten away from it because it's so, I was spending like $5,000 a month on postcards farming, you know? And like after years and years of that, you know, I got some deals out of it, sure. But when I look at what I spent compared to what I could have done with that $60,000 that year, it's like, holy smokes, dude, I could have reached millions of people for 60 grand instead of the same 2,500, or how many was I sending? You know, 10,000, or I don't know how many I was sending. So calling, the right intentions, the right tone, you know, making them feel comfortable with you. And then getting their contact information, man, their email and their cell phone number. Now you're going to build your brand through email, text messaging, and social media with them. And you're going to do it way cheaper than mailing. You know what I mean?
That makes sense.
Yeah. So again, this is a classic. This is a classic, making things not hard, but let's do the activities that are very high producing and very cheap and very easy.
Makes sense.
Joe, anything to add?
Yeah, well, I was just thinking about when he had brought up, you know, do I do expireds, FSBOs, GeoLeads, whatever. I love GeoLeads, and I wrote down a whole list of why I like GeoLeads. Number one, if you do your farm right away, now I know you just beat up sending postcards, but I still send postcards. But
no, listen, postcards are fine. I'm not saying that it's bad. I like do them. Like it is attention. I'm just saying, think about it, you know, from the perspective of where technology is now, what you can do with the money. And if it still makes sense, like you're doing it, do it. I still send just listed, just solds.
Yeah.
I still send letters. I still send handwritten letters. So I'm still doing things in that department. I'm just not farming, and I'm not trying to hit expireds and for sale by owners with mail. Are you hitting for sale by owners and expireds with mail?
No.
Okay.
No.
Right.
I would. Well, with mail, no, I wouldn't. I'm not even calling, like, I don't have time to. It's not even 2,000 numbers you get with GeoLeads. It's 2,000 houses. If you're getting 3 numbers each, that's 6,000. Like, I can't call all those numbers every month.
Right. And some people do, right? So let's talk about that. You call all 2,000 contacts.
Yeah. You pay $40-$50, you get another 2,000.
$50. Yeah, you can do that. Or you can just switch over to following up with all the crazy business you got out of those 2,000 calls, and then following up with your sphere and following up with the buyers you showed last month, and then calling the expireds, and then calling a few for sale by owners. Now, all of a sudden, it's the first of the month again.
Yeah.
You know?
100%. So my list, GeoLeads, you can, and it's not just for the mailings, man. It's just like knowing your farm. Like I know that's Barb and John right there. That's Tim and Sandy. Like I know where everybody is, and you start to know the people in your area. So you know that guy owns that grocery store, that gal owns that restaurant. You can, when you have an open house, I know all of those. I'll just go on, create a little circle, and I'll call all 100 people at 9 a.m. And then I'll go knock on their doors at 10:30, and then I'll actually have the open house at noon. But you can do that because you get the geo leads, so you can pick wherever you go. If you get, like you said, Ricky, a new listing, new pending, new sale, you've got the whole list, and you don't even have to mail them. You can call them, which is way better than a mailing, and you can call them so quickly. And then if you've got a buyer for a specific area, what a great way, not just to pick up business, but what a great way to wow your future sellers, to wow the buyer you're working with. Listen, you want a house in here and there's none for sale that fit what you're looking for? Awesome. I'm going to call the closest 200 people to this area, and I'll let you know if I can find anybody. And now you've got an even better pitch when you're calling people. Like, I literally have somebody I'd like to show tomorrow at noon. Can I look at your house? I don't know of a better pitch than that. That's a pretty good pitch.
Yeah. Well, does that help you, my brother?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
All right, man. You know
That's
where to
really
find.
good.
You know where to find me if you need it. Got any other questions?
Okay. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Later, man.
Appreciate what you're doing.
Yes, sir. So real quick, I want to say a few things real quick, and then we can wrap things up. But Chris over at Webinate, he's extended his Cyber Monday deal all the way to Christmas. So the no setup fee, that's going on. Also, everybody that knows me gets the $150 startup fee waived for Red X. So if that's something you want to do, if you haven't jumped on board, just go to zerododiamond.com and you can save the $150 startup fee. It's $150 in your pocket you can use to do something else. And also it's month to month. They don't even try to lock you into a contract or anything.
Yeah.
Just try it for a month. Get geo leads for $50. Try it for a month. Dial with your finger if you want to. And then, but you're going to want to get the dialer, because I had a message from a guy today who said, hey, you see a lot of wrong, you get a lot of wrong numbers with Red X. I was like, yeah, I get some. I was like, and I already knew the answer. I was like, you got a dialer? He's like, no. See, the people that dial with their fingers and have to dial every wrong number,
You notice it.
you know, that's when they ask me, they're like, hey, you get a lot of wrong numbers?
Feel
Yeah.
the pain, man.
But
Yeah.
if you have the dialer, it cuts right through them. It just
Yep.
goes straight, just boop, boop. Okay, that's a bad number. Boop, 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 boop. And then boom, oh, here's a good one. Boom, you start talking to them immediately.
Yeah.
It just cuts right through them like butter. So you guys have to get that dialer for this thing to make sense. I don't care where you get your phone numbers from. If you're getting bulk numbers, there's going to be a percentage of them that are bad. Red X is the best I've found. And, you know, that's that. But to wrap up the show, if you guys have any other questions, we got time for one more caller if anybody does want to call in. But, man, I've enjoyed this one.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I like the way you think, because I am so used to hanging around people who think average thoughts. And that's literally 95% of the people that work in our, maybe not 95, but it's a high percentage. And you get caught up in that stuff. I like to be surrounded by, say again?
No, I agree.
Yeah. I like to be surrounded by monstrous thinkers, man. People who challenge everything I say. And why do you say that? Why do you think that? What? And you don't just go with the flow, man. You're like, cool, great. Like, why do you? And it's like, I don't know. I'm just saying stuff. So yeah. I love that. And I think that's one of the big things that people got out of that video that you just put out. Was it yesterday?
Yeah.
Is quit thinking what everybody's telling you, whether it's the news, realtors, your broker, whoever. Just make your market, man. Who cares
Exactly,
what the
man.
market's like?
Listen, there's never going to be a shortage of human beings that need and want to buy and sell properties. You know, it's just never going to happen. I don't care what the market does. If prices are lower, the price is going to adjust according to where buyers will buy. What does that mean? It means that people are always going to be buying because the price is always going to be adjusting to what people will buy for.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, this is not rocket science. You know what I'm saying? So like a big thing for me, and like something that's like, you know, down to my core and like part of like my heart, part of my, you know, heart and soul here, is reducing the failure rate in terms of less agents dropping out of the business when the market does decide to turn. Like, I don't know when it's going to turn or how bad it's going to turn, or if it turns, you know, slightly and then comes back and then there's a big crash in 15 years. I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that we're going to have ups and downs, and every time we have a down, we lose agents. And I want agents to not be afraid of a market shift or a crash or a downturn or, you know, a decline. I don't want them to even worry whatsoever about it, because it's just, it doesn't affect you. Like, I was one of those agents. I lost everything in the crash. I went back to roofing houses, worked an oil rig, you know, lost it all. Like, I was definitely one of them. Didn't sell anything for several years. And, but that's where I learned all this stuff. And that's why I just want to give it all back to people before the next big crash, small crash. I mean, even a small crash could, like you said, if 10% of the market, if it goes down 10%, maybe 10% of the agents get out of the business, you know? But the thing is like, I'm not here to like, worry about competition. Like, I want the market to go down 20% and the number of agents stay the same. Like, I want that, you know what I mean? Because it's always only going to be like the top 10 to 20% of agents that are doing business anyway. I don't know how all the other ones pay their, you know, their licenses and like their continuing education and all that stuff. But needless to say, I just want to see, I want to wake up when the market does decide to crash. I want to wake up to messages from people, from agents telling me that if it wasn't for me, then they definitely would not still be in business.
That's a pretty good commission right there, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's just going to light me up, man. That's everything that I'm working for right now, is to build my brand and get my message out there enough to where I get messages from agents in 10 years when the market completely collapses, saying that they're still selling at a high level and making millions of dollars.
Yeah.
You know, and taking that money and donating it and like doing great things with the money, not just making the money, but doing, you know, doing volunteer work and giving back to kids and, you know, all the things that you should be doing with your money, you know? Cool, man. Well, any last minute thoughts or anything else I can do for you?
No.
My co-host.
You can't do any more for me, man. You're amazing. I appreciate everything you've done, not just for me, but for everybody, man. I hear it. I hear it all day. I got people calling me, asking me, what would Ricky do if I'm like, dude, I don't know. Go ask Ricky, man. He'll get back to you. Yeah. But dude, people love you. I hear it probably more than you hear it, man. You're doing amazing things and we all appreciate it.
Good, man. And also I'm going to be in Long Island. Okay. I'll, where can I put this link? I'm going to update my page, the Zero to Diamond /events page. I haven't updated that in a while because I haven't taken any new events, but I'm going to be in Long Island. I'm going to put a link to the Eventbrite for that. January 29th. Looking forward to that. I'm also going to make the hike from there that same day up to the Inman that's in Manhattan. I'm actually just going to go there and just make an appearance. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm also going to be in Phoenix on January 16th. And I'll also be at the R4, the REMAX convention in Vegas. They've got me on a social media panel that Monday, the Monday of the R4. So if you guys are going to that, I would love to see you there as well. And I'm working on several other events. If you guys know of any events that you would like me to come speak at, or if you want me to fly in and talk to your office of 100 people or something like that, just DM me or put a comment below this video, or just hit me up, email me, do something and let me know, and we can absolutely arrange it. And also I'm doing Zoom calls just like I'm doing here with Joe, not live, but just private Zoom calls with companies all over the world. I've done them all over the world. But if you want me to do a Zoom call with your company, I'm glad to do that. And just kind of do Q&A and talk and, you know, tell everybody my philosophies and do what I can to help people get in the right mindset. You know, relationships over transactions, closings happen every day. Worry about nothing. Competition doesn't exist. Outwork everyone. I mean, that's just the foundation. You know, you got to work hard, believe, adapt, and be patient. And, you know, that's just what I'm here to do. So I love you guys. Let me know what I can do for you. We'll see you guys next Tuesday, 4 p.m. Central. We'll be here live again with another great subject, taking your calls. And if you're listening to this on a replay or something, we're live on YouTube, youtube.com/Ricky Carruth, where you can find all my other 700 videos. And just here to help you guys take your business and your life to another level. And I love you. See you guys soon.